Dark nights alone, in the zone. Heart touches stone, feel it to the bone. Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, unbowed, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Volcy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace. Streetlights glare, danger's always there. In the lair we prepare, no room for care. Shadow paths we trace, haunted smiles on our face. No dreams left to chase, locked in this space. Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is our shroud.
Panel, about an hour and a half in, all right? Start tapping that screen. Start tapping that screen, y'all. Start tapping that screen. Start tapping that screen. All right, y'all. Start tapping that screen. All right, y'all. Start tapping that screen. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? I know y'all love my intro music. I know y'all love my intro music, right? My intro music is fire, man. I ain't gonna lie. My intro music is fire. But y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm about to open up the call lines now. So like I always do, first hour and a half is going to be for ops only. And then we'll go ahead and run the panel for the last 30 to 45 minutes. We'll run that panel. And I'll let people go ahead and speak to each other. So you can go ahead and call in now, or you can join in. You can join in with over on TikTok with that guest button. Like I said, I always appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me go ahead and play my music here. I got my little elevator music here. That's my elevator whole time music while we wait for people to come on in and have the discussion. Just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank y'all so much. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all go ahead and keep hitting those likes. Keep tapping that screen. Hit those likes, tap that screen, and we'll go ahead and get the get some conversations in here, get the live going. Once again, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. I enjoy these discussions. Share these if you can. Once again, y'all, live has started. I'm live now over on Pinches. Thank you so much for the shares, Pinches. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate the share, Pinches. I'm about to go live on the Twitch right now as well. So people on Twitch will be able to go ahead and see. I've been thinking about doing this on Kick, but my mods told me that Kick is a complete dumpster fire. My mods told me that Kick is not a good idea. It's a complete dumpster fire over there. But I've been thinking about doing this on Kick as well to see how that works out if I get callers over there. But they say Kick is full of the HH people, and it's not a good idea. If I go over on Kick, I'm just gonna get callers that spam the N-word, so probably not a good idea to go over there. But we'll see if what happens one day. If this starts to spread out more, then we'll definitely do that. Hey, Bar is in the building. Appreciate that, Bar. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm gonna be doing one-on-one, y'all, for the first about hour and a half, and then I'll run the panel. So if y'all's would like to, stick around for that time, towards the end of the show, that's when I always run the panel. Towards the end, about the last 30 to 45 minutes, that's when I run the panel. What's going on, Hanji? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Hanji. Y'all keep sharing this live out, y'all. So around the time where it's about 35 to 45 minutes of the show, that's when I go ahead and run the panel. What's going on? I'll go ahead and run the panel, and that's when we have the full list of people up here so we can all talk. All right. But like I said, y'all, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Call in. The phone number is on the board. Let me make sure I pin the number. Yeah, the pin number is pinned. 786-530-5941. I do see some people over on the Deconstruction Junction already having the conversation and dropping verses in the chat. Don't just drop verses in the chat, because I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat. So you actually have to go ahead and call in and talk, all right? Because I'm not paying attention to the chat. So if you would actually like to have the discussion, go ahead and call in 786-530-5941. Same over on my personal YouTube channel over on Volcy Thoughts. Go ahead and call in if you would like. We'll see if we get anybody here soon. I'm gonna go ahead and keep tapping that screen over here on the TikTok so we can get some more folks in, have that discussion. So once again, y'all, wherever you watch me from, if you're watching me from Bash, if you're watching me from Deconstruction Junction, if you're watching me from Volcy Thoughts, the number is on the board. You go ahead and call in and we can have that discussion, all right? Oof, that's not what I want to do. Hey, Marquise, give me 1 second, okay?
All right.
I'm not sure why it's doing it like that. Give me 1 second. I just got to fix up my...
That's 2 seconds now.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That's better. That's what I want it to look like. All right, Marquise, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I'm 34, and a good reason to believe in God. He created you. He also gives you a way of bettering your life.
Okay. When you number one, I need clarification on that. When you said that he created me, number one, what does that mean? Number two, how do you know that? And number three, you said that he can give me a better life or a way to a better life. Well, you don't really know me, so there's no way you can say that I have a better life than what I have right now. But what, in your opinion, would be better?
Well, better is always available. Like, your life is not at the peak. You can always have something better, whether it's health or whether it's better is always an option for everybody, no matter how good you're doing.
Yeah, sure. I could have $7.5 million. Are you saying that if I start believing in God, I'm going to get $7.5 million?
Malachi 3:10 does talk about how to gain riches far abundant.
Yeah, sure. But just if I just believe in God, well, I'm going to become a millionaire?
I believe so. Yeah, Malachi 3:10. I believe so.
Are you a millionaire?
I'll be there probably by next year, hopefully.
How come all the Christians aren't millionaires then?
I'm not a Christian. I don't know what they're doing.
But you said you cited Malachi 3:10.
That's Old Testament. So Christianity is more than the New Testament.
So I'm not sure what you are then.
I practice what they call Judaism.
Oh, you're Jew?
You can say that. I just practice Judaism.
So I'm like, yeah. So if you practice Judaism, you're Jewish.
Some people get offended when I label myself as that, so I don't go into titles.
You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. So you're saying that if I become Jewish, I will then become rich.
if you follow the Most High's commandments. All the Jews are mostly rich, right?
No, that's poor Jews.
Okay, but there's reasons. But most of the Jews are what?
White.
And rich.
Most Jews are white and rich. That's your argument for to become Jewish, to be a white guy.
No, you don't have to become Jew. I'm just saying following God's commandments can get you rich, and a lot of Jews follow God's commandments.
A lot of Jews are also involved in like finances. They're involved in banking, and they've been involved in that type of stuff for like a lot of their since European times, right? When I think I was either the second temple or third temple. I think the second temple was destroyed, and they were all around Europe. They got involved into the financial industry, and they were able to invest and stuff like that. From then, that's really most of the reason why they're rich. But any religious or ethnic group can do that, right? I don't have to be Jewish in order to get money.
I'm not pointing to anybody being Jewish. I'm saying following God's commandments. I'm saying Jews follow God's commandments. You don't have to be Jewish, but if you follow God's commandments, you can get there.
Why that God?
Because I believe He's the only God. I believe if you follow like God named Boo Boo Kabooboo, you're not gonna get there.
I don't know what Boo Boo Kabooboo is, but why? Why is that one the only one?
We can see proof that this is the true God based off practice.
How?
Well, based off he says this. He says, test me in this way and you'll see. So if there's a God that says, test me in this way, and then you actually do see, you will see that this God is true.
Can I do that for any, and can I get the same results doing that for any other God?
If there's a God that says, test me in this way, yeah, sure. If whatever comes true, when he says, test me, and whatever he says will happen, and it comes true, yeah, that'll be a true God.
Oh, okay. So when my grandmother put a curse on my childhood bully through her voodoo gods, those voodoo gods are real then?
Did the God say, test me in this way?
Not necessarily, but like the way that African tradition works is all about reciprocation, is all about veneration, about like ancestral continuity, stuff like that. So it's basically embedded within the religion in order to test them. And that's what
magic? Like black magic or what?
Well, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about magic.
No, I never said I never said magic. I said following God's commandments in His test.
That's magic.
You can call it what you want, but I just said following His test.
Okay, so why is it not following a test for the voodoo gods, but it is following a test for the Jewish God, and why is it a test for the Jewish God and magic for the voodoo gods? Why are you making a difference? What's the difference?
Yeah, Malachi 3:10, he actually says, "Test me in this way," and then he gives a prerequisite.
That doesn't answer my question. That doesn't answer my question. What I'm asking is, why is yours a test, but the other ones are magic? What's the symmetry breaker?
I never said the other ones are magic.
You said I'm talking about magic.
I never even said the word magic until you brought it up. So if the
you
other
said
guys,
black magic, you literally said black magic.
No, I was asking you, are you saying black magic?
No, I'm not saying black magic. What I'm saying is what you're describing is literally magic. Okay. Testing a supernatural thing in order to do something for you is literally magic.
Okay, I disagree with that. But if you have a God and a God says, test me in this way, and then he tells you what will happen, and then you test him and it does happen, that's a way that confirms that God exists.
What if it doesn't?
Then you can say that God does not exist.
All right, so I've tested God before to do something for me, and it didn't happen. So doesn't that mean that God doesn't exist?
Was it his test?
What do you mean, was it his test? What does that mean?
He has to say, test me in this way. Like, was it his test?
What is his test? It just says, test me in this way. What does that mean?
You said you tested him. What was the test?
The test was to show up unambiguously.
Okay, show me that written down that's his test.
That's why I asked you, what is the test then?
No, you said you tested him before, right?
Yeah, and I told him to show up unambiguously, and he didn't. So if you said that's not his test, then what is it?
Something you just made up.
Okay, listen. I'm asking you, what is his test? You need to answer that question. You're not answering.
Go to Malachi 3:10. That's his test.
Tell me what it is, bro. What is it?
My Bible's not in front of me, but if you open up to Malachi 3:10,
so so you're gonna say that my test is not his test, but you don't even know what it is?
No, verbatim.
Yeah, verbatim. You just said Malachi 3:10. That doesn't tell me anything. What is the actual test? How can you say that mine wasn't an actual test? And when I ask you what it is, you can't name it. You said, oh, just go to this obscure verse.
No, because that verse gives you the test.
You sure?
Yes, that's why I gave it to you.
Okay, cool. So the verse gives me the test. What is it then?
I can't spit it verbatim, but go to the verse.
Exactly. That's the problem. You're saying that it's in there, but you don't know what the fuck it is. That's a problem. You don't see that?
brother, just because I can't say it verbatim doesn't mean it's not in there. Go to the verse.
Malachi 3:10 is about tithes. So I gotta give niggas money. That's the test. I gotta give motherfuckers money.
Read the whole verse. Go to reverse 8 to 10.
Was it Malachi 3:10 or Malachi 3:8? Which one is it?
For full context of this test, read verse 8 through 10.
So Malachi 3:8 to 10.
Correct.
Okay. If this shit is about tithes again, this is about tithes, bro. This is about tithes. No, Malachi 3:8. It's about God rebuking the Israelites for not giving out tithes. So you're saying that you said I gotta give niggas money and then that will work. I gotta go to a temple, give motherfuckers $20, and then I'm gonna get riches or I'm gonna get anything that I want. I gotta give niggas money. This is kind of insane. You don't see how insane this is?
Let's start with this, bro. Read the verse 8 through 10, and then let's talk about
it. Malachi 3:8-10. Will a mere mortal rob God? Yet you rob me. But you ask, how are we robbing you? In tithes and offerings. You are under a curse, your whole nation, because you are robbing me. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and there will be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will be not enough room to store it. So I got to give niggas money. This is crazy, bro. All right, y'all. So you heard it from the Christian or the Jewish person himself. I got to go to the temple, give motherfuckers some bread, and then we're gonna get blessed. That's how we know that God is real, because we got to give niggas money. That's insane, bro. Are you serious right now?
That's God's test. That's not my test. That's God's test. You calling him crazy?
So God's test is to give niggas money.
So you know what a tithe is?
Money.
Okay, it's a 10% of whatever you make.
Money. So I gotta give niggas money. That's the test. So bro, the tithe. So bro, the test is to give motherfuckers money and then I'll be blessed. This is hilariously dumb. This is hilariously stupid. This is how motherfuckers get scammed, bro. This is how they get scammed.
Hold on. So when somebody gives 10% to, let's say, hospitals and kids that need it and mothers that were abused,
that ain't what this says, bro. That ain't what this says.
That's a tithe, brother. You're giving 10% away.
No, that's not what this says. It says give the tithe to the storehouses.
Okay, you know what a storehouse was?
Yeah, a storehouse is where they put all their grains and shit like that.
Okay, so a storehouse is the mediator to give to the individuals that need it. There was a law that says you cannot have a poor person among you. And there was a law about helping the infant, not the infant, the widow, the orphan, just any individual amongst you that's an Israelite that needs that help.
Right. So I gotta go to the synagogue, give them niggas money, and they'll give it out to the community.
Synagogue. They didn't say synagogue. So what you want to do, brother? You want to give 10% of what you make to those that are less fortunate than you.
That's not what this says. It says a storehouse.
But the storehouse is the mediator to give to these individuals.
Can I just give it to them myself?
That's what we're doing. I said 10% to where we need to give it to.
So I'm a storehouse?
We don't have. So today we live in a time where you have the internet. You can give 10% to any organization that you would like.
So I'm a storehouse?
No, storehouse is a mediator. If you don't need a mediator.
I don't need a mediator. I can give it to them myself.
Correct.
So I'm a storehouse. So if I go and give St. Jude's Hospital 10% of my income, I'm gonna go ahead and be blessed tenfold. I'll become a millionaire.
You got to stick with this test and you'll see it.
I already do that already. You know that, right? Well, you wouldn't know that. I'm be fair. You wouldn't know that, but I do that already.
You give 10% away every paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay, well, only God will know that. I wouldn't know.
So you said so. Basically, this verse is about tithing. So you got to give niggas money, and then God will show Himself. I've been giving to
Give the
charity.
less
Basically,
fortunate
I've been
individuals
giving to charity for the less fortunate. Basically, my
10%.
entire adult life.
10%.
Sometimes more.
Good. So as long as you keep with this test, God only knows. I'm a person on TikTok.
Is
I don't know
tithing
what you
also
do.
time?
You said time?
Yeah, the time you
No,
give.
it's not time. No, it's not time.
Why not? Why is tithing not time?
Because everybody has time, and it's easy to give anybody time, but it's hard to give somebody your wealth away.
No, it's not easy to get your time away. We only have so much time in a day, right? So it's not easy to take
That's not
time
the
off
point.
in order to serve the less fortunate. So when I
You
go
can do
out there,
time
so when
too,
I
but
go
that's
out
not the
there,
point.
so when I go out there to food drives, to backpack drives, going out there to mentor youth, going out there spending my time to mentor other young men with their mental health and everything like that, that doesn't count.
That's not the definition of a tithe. You can do that, but that's not the definition of a tithe.
So tithing has nothing to do with time.
Correct. That's not the definition of a tithe.
What if I don't have any money?
Well, do you have anything that you can give 10% of?
My time.
Okay, well, it's not. That's not the definition of tithe,
What if I don't have money?
and you can't tithe.
You just said, is there anything I could give 10% of my time of my
No.
anything I have that I could
Tangible
give 10% of? And I said my time, but now it doesn't work because it has to be money. Do you realize this is how people get scammed?
tangible things. Tangible things.
Oh, it has to be tangible. So my time doesn't count. It's not tangible.
Well, hello, my name is.
Bro, what is tangible?
Hold
Give me the
real
definition.
quick, please. Hold real quick. All right. So yeah, I understand what you mean by tangible, something that you can actually touch. I get it. So like so the thing is, like, the issue what I have a problem with this is that if I don't have money, according to you, I cannot tithe, therefore I won't be blessed. It's kind of insane.
Well, it has to be 10% of some type of wealth that you have, tangible wealth that you have.
What if I don't have wealth? What if I don't have money?
Then you can't tithe.
So I won't be blessed, according to what you said for Malachi 10, Malachi 3:10.
In that way, you can't test them that way.
So what's the way I can test them then?
This is the only test. There's other things you can do.
Okay, so God's only test is to give niggas money. Yeah, that's we're back at the beginning. All right, yo, I appreciate you being up. We are out of time. Hey, that's insane. So God's test is to give motherfuckers money, y'all. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move on. I do appreciate y'all for being here. We were out of time with him, that's why I dropped them. But I appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna get to the calls on the stage, and I do have one that's on the phone line right now. Let me take him off mute real quick. Give me 1 second, guy. Hey, caller, I know that you're on the phone right now. Thank you so much for holding for me. There are people in front of you. Just stay on hold. If you got to hang up, that's fine. Just call back or I'll call you back. All right. Stay on the line for me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching me over on the Deconstruction Junction. The call line is open if you would like to talk to me. Thank you so much for watching me from the Volcy Thoughts channel. Keep the chat going. Share it out over there. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen. Drop some gift chats if you would like. Thank you so much for watching me over on the Bash channel, over on the Black Atheist, Skeptics, and Humanist. For the first hour and a half, we're gonna go one-on-one, and then for the last 30 to 45 minutes, we will be going ahead and opening up the panel to more guests and to anybody who will be a friendly. We'll be opening up in the last 30 to 45 minutes. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're gonna talk to Guy Jones. Guy, we didn't get to talk a lot yesterday. I appreciate you for coming back. Guy, I know you're over 18 and you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God. Tell me once again, what was that reason?
Oh yeah. How you doing, man? I was gonna say a reason. Well, I gave you two reasons. One was the cosmological argument. One was evidence for Jesus Christ. And the other one I didn't really get into was near-death experiences. I've seen many videos of people who were atheists who said that they went into comas or they've been in near-death experiences and they've seen an afterlife. I know people chalk it up to hallucinations, but I've heard of videos where a person will be on the operating table and they're able to see the medical staff working on them. And being able to tell them what they said or what they did.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Those are people that's when the anesthesia doesn't work all the way and they're awake for the entire surgery. Sometimes they don't feel anything and sometimes they do. There are times where the anesthesia doesn't work all the way and they actually feel the entire surgery. And there are times where those who are lucky don't feel anything at all. Yeah, I'm saying so. It's just one of those things. And when it comes to like near-death experiences, yeah, those could just be hallucinations because NDEs are culturally contexted, right? Because you'll have Hindu people who have NDEs and they see their gods. You'll have Muslims who have NDEs and they either hear Muhammad or see a white light. And then you have atheists who have NDEs and see nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you have to take the cultural context into consideration. One thing that I wanted to really get into was that the fact of Jesus' existence. Me, I'm one of those people where I don't have a lot of beef with Jesus existing as a person, right? But it comes more into the line of did he actually have the superpowers? And if we can't show that, what's the reason to now believe it? His story could be moving, it could be great, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he had powers, right?
Right. I guess there's no empirical evidence, but there's no empirical proof, but there is evidence, I guess, like I was saying yesterday, how the apostles were able to martyr themselves, in order to, they really believe that they saw him rise from the dead. And a lot of people, I guess, the crowd that witnessed him walking through the streets after he was crucified, people were tortured, because they were told to renounce Christianity at that point. They were told to renounce Jesus, and they still went through with being unalived and tortured because they really believed in what they saw. And, those are all written down and spread throughout history. And then, it grew from there. And now billions of people follow it.
Does the same thing happen in cults?
Hey, good afternoon.
Not your turn yet.
Not to this. Yeah, not to this magnitude. There have been many of cults that have, then you said the Jim Jones cult and many other cults where people have, there's no, I don't know, nothing, no events have happened miraculously that can be recorded that showed that they should be following the cult. But I guess, I don't know. It hasn't spread as much as Christianity, though.
Let me ask you this question. Why do you think Christianity spread as much as it did? Because there was two events. Well, actually, the one event, the Can event, which was Constantine becoming Christian. If that didn't happen, do you think Christianity would have spread as much as it did?
Probably not as fast. I believe that it would have happened regardless, but just he probably helped ignite it and accelerate it.
It was a Roman emperor that made Christianity. Which Roman emperor made Christianity official religion? Theudius, yeah. Theodosius. He's the one that made Christianity official religion of the Roman Empire. If that didn't happen, do you really think that it would have spread that much as it did?
Again, I would say I don't know. My personal speculation, I would say it wouldn't have spread at that time. It would have spread eventually.
No, I agree that it would have spread eventually.
Yeah.
But the reason why Christianity became such a worldwide religion is because of I'll say three events. Constantine becoming Christian, Theodosius making it the state religion, and then thousands of years later, what happened? The Age of Discovery, European colonialism. If those three things didn't happen,
before that, you had the apostles. I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, before that, you had the apostles going around country to country, continent, spreading. It started in Rome, then Africa, then Europe. Rome actually owned part of the Middle East at the time, and so Rome isn't necessarily Europe.
Yeah, no doubt. Hold on.
Ethiopia. That's what I mean. Northern Africa, Ethiopia, Eritrea.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. Hey guys, there's a timer here. Okay, wait your turn, please. All right. So, no doubt. I think people will still would have heard of it, but would it have been the worldwide religion that it is today? I honestly don't think so. It would look a lot different than it did today, because the reason why, especially in somewhere like Africa, why Christianity looks the way that it looks is because I think it didn't spread naturally there, because there's a certain Christian tradition called revivalism down in Jamaica, And the way they do Christianity down there is not any way they do Christianity anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, like these old ladies be twerking. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like how it is anywhere else. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I think colonialism had a strong influence on why Christianity is so widespread today. Not that it's simply the best one, but the fact that Europeans went around the world basically converting everybody.
Right, I agree with you on that point. I would say, like, I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, black people shouldn't be Christian. I shouldn't be Christian because I'm black. But it's like,
I agree. You shouldn't. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, listen, generations of my family have been Christian, but I'm saying that, and I walked away from it. And then, you know, as I'm reading the teachings of Jesus, it sort of brought me back. But it's like, you know, the slave Bible was a thing. I mean, they omitted a lot of the parts of the Bible to give to the slaves to justify their wicked deeds, you know, of enslaving Africans. You know, that doesn't mean that the main core of the Bible is bad. It's just the way they use it, the way Europeans used it to justify slavery was wrong. You know, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater just because one guy twisted the scriptures, you know.
No, I would agree with that, right? You don't have to necessarily not be Christian.
Somebody said I'm cooning because I believe in Jesus. I'm sorry.
No, all good. No, the thing is, I mean, there are cooned out Christians. There's definitely that, but I don't necessarily think that
I'm not one of them.
No, you're not one of them. I don't think you necessarily have to be that, right? And the thing is with me, when it comes to black people being Christian, this was the religion of our enslavers and colonizers, right? This is literally how we got it, except for Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the one standout. Right. But for the vast culture. Yeah, but the vast majority of sub-Saharan Africa, we got it through the sword, basically, or we got it through one of the kings, or they got, like, for example, the king of Congo, Alfonso, he became a Catholic, but he only did that in order to have trade with the Portuguese. He didn't really give a shit about it. They actually still did their indigenous practices. We saw the same thing with the kingdom of Mali. The emperors of Mali became Muslim only for the trade. They didn't do it because they actually believed in Islam. They didn't give a shit about that. They were still doing their own thing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is how basically Christianity and Islam would look if it wasn't, if they didn't force us to denigrate or give up our own spiritual heritage. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I wouldn't have a big issue with Christianity if it was like that. But the way that it operates now, especially in the West, is that, number one, it upholds white supremacy, and number two, it forces us to give up our spiritual heritage, and number three, it's a foreign thing. Like, we don't really need it. We already had our own systems of spirituality, of connectedness, of community, of morals. We had all that before Christianity, so it's completely unnecessary for us to even keep. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I always say that now black people shouldn't be Christian, because it's
right. But Dr. King was Christian. I mean, he used Christianity to justify why we should have equal rights. You know, there's a law above the law, that being God. So, I mean,
did he do that because he was Christian, or did he do that because he was black?
I guess both. I mean,
it could be both. It could be both, but they were people who were not Christian in that time that were still fighting for equal rights, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like James Baldwin. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. When that comes up, I always say, like, was it the Christianness that did him, or was it the conditions that he was in? Because even if, let's say, we will flip the roles, Malcolm X was Christian and MLK was Muslim, I think we would still see the same results. Yeah, I mean, probably Malcolm X would probably be like a black liberation theology, and MLK would be something else. But, like, you see what I'm saying? So if they were different religions, we'll see the same results, because the material conditions was about the discrimination that black people were facing at that time, not necessarily, you know, their Christianity. Now, of course, MLK used Christianity to push equal rights. I'm not going to doubt that. Sure, that's true.
Right. Well, I would say, I mean, just because, I mean, that's just one reason. I mean, just the evidence behind Jesus Christ and whatnot, the apostles. I would also say with the cosmological argument, you know, just the universe being so complex that I believe that there has to be an order right? There has to be a person, or not a person, but a mind who instills that order. You don't get order out of chaos. It's like if you have a bunch of car parts sitting in a lobby, they don't come together by themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's only because we know that car parts we know beforehand that they're designed. You're not going to go into the middle of the forest and see car parts pop off the ground. That doesn't happen. But when it comes to like, can order come from chaos? We typically see that at like subatomic levels, right? So like they kind of coalesce into things that lead to entropy, basically. Like things kind of order themselves around. But do you think that's a consequence of a mind doing it or a consequence of physics?
I believe the mind created the physics.
Why? Why believe that?
Just because, I just use deductive reasoning because like everything in nature has a result. Like every result has a cause, right? So a can that fell on the floor was somebody dropped it off a ceiling, dropped it off a roof or whatever. An apple falls with the tree, it's because of gravity. I would say the universe coming into existence was because of a source.
Yeah, sure.
Personally.
We can say there was a source like we can say there was a source like the hot dense state that it expanded from, but that doesn't necessarily imply that there was a willful agent that did it, right? It could just be a natural process we don't understand yet.
Right. That's a 50-50, I guess, proposition, because you don't really know. We can't really go back in time to see how the universe was created firsthand. We just use deductive reasoning to show that it had to come from somewhere. There had to be a first mover to move the first domino to bring the universe, or to bring the hot dense expansion, like you said, the Big Bang, into existence. There had to be a start.
Right, but how do we know that start was a how do we what's the symmetry breaker between the start being a willful agent and a natural process that we don't yet understand or know?
If it was a natural process, then it just means that the universe is infinite, because the universe is natural. So there has to be something to bring nature into existence.
There has to be something to bring nature into existence. Or
unless
sure,
nature always was. No, nature's infinite.
Yeah, that could be a thing too. Nature could just be infinite.
Nobody knows for sure, but it's just called faith. That's the direction I point to. But I don't really try to force anybody to believe what they want.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Everybody believes what they want. I don't.
No, I got you. I understand that. The thing is with me, why I don't really take faith as a virtue is because faith, in my opinion, is a coin flip. You know what I mean? Like the Greeks, for example, took everything on faith about Zeus, but we know that they were wrong. Lightning doesn't come from an old white guy shooting down things from Mount Olympus. It's charged ions and clouds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's one of the reasons why I don't always take faith into consideration. Now that doesn't mean that, let's say, if we go down a list of things in the next 30 minutes to an hour, I'm pretty sure we're going to find something that I take on faith. I'm pretty sure we're going to find something, right? So it's not like I'm completely against it. It's just what I would say is that it's not always reliable, or it's completely unreliable. It's more of a coin flip. We need more than that to kind of move through our lives. You see me?
I agree with you on that. I don't think there's not enough evidence for Zeus being a real thing, or Santa Claus. There's evidence, the manuscripts into antiquity that show that Jesus Christ was a real person. Historians have said that Jesus Christ most likely was a real person. Not 100%, but most likely. The History Channel says so too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with him most likely being a real person. Or being a tradition of several people that got amalgamated into one, like what happened with King Arthur. You know what I mean? I don't have any issue with that as well. I've never had beef with Jesus existing. A lot of people right now have an issue with Jesus existing as a person. I don't have an issue with that, right? Because whether he did or he didn't is not the actual core issue. It's whether he did what the Gospels claim he did, whether he had the powers or not. That's what's the most important thing, not his existence. That's not something I really care about. You see what I mean?
Right. And again, I would say that's based on faith. And the reason I follow Jesus or Christianity is because of the teachings. Even if, I don't know, I've always been like agnostic about it, whether it was really true or not, but I've always admired the teachings,
Mhm.
Love thy neighbor, love God and love thy neighbor as yourself, treat everybody with respect, turn the other cheek if you can. Those are things I live my core life by. And it's not anything to be ashamed of. I don't know why people, I understand you don't believe that he had powers or anything if he was the son of God or he was divine.
Mhm.
But, people who have faith do, based on what, I guess, the writings of Paul and the apostles. And
Yeah. So
even, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say the issue is not just believing, right? If people just believed and that was it, that would have been one thing. The issue is that the way that it affects people's lives. Yeah, I mean, and that's when people have a real problem. Like if everybody
Right.
was a Christian the way that you practice, or this was I believe, I take morals from it, and then I treat people right, et cetera, that would be fine. But what happens is that you have people who get kicked out their homes because they're LGBTQ, and the Bible says that we have to being gay is a sin, therefore it's an abomination. And now we have people,
Right.
we have homeless LGBTQ teens. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have
Right.
people like a Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump saying that trans people not getting the medication or the help that they need from the medical industry.
Right. I don't
because it's
agree with
evil.
them at all.
Yeah, exactly. Bible verses in school, abortion laws. These are all the reasons, right? And even if those didn't exist, once you have a group of people that would say that, hey, this is sinful, therefore I'm going to kick my kid out the house, or I'm going to force him to believe in a certain way, or I'm not going to treat you well, or you have someone like Steve Harvey saying, if you don't believe, I think you're an idiot, I'm not going to talk to you. People will treat you a certain way for not believing. That's when it becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? Even if the laws weren't an issue, treating other people a certain way because they don't believe then becomes a problem. That's what that's why I think people have an issue with it, right? And especially like when you see like posts on social media, like I don't know, I'm on Threads. I'm not sure if you're on Threads, but I'm on Threads, and it gets ridiculous. But I understand that that's not the way you live your life. I'm not going to impose on you. I'm not saying that you're that type of person. I'm saying that that's why someone like myself does type of content to normalize it and to have people think critically about what they believe. Like, because I'm talking a while, but like that's basically my entire thing. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to force you out of it, but I do want you to think more critically about it. You see what I'm saying? Like you can believe it all you want.
Yeah, I respect your perspective. Yeah, and the way you have everything organized is pretty good too. But I'm gonna get off and let somebody else speak. And I just want to say one last thing. I think like Christian nationalism is fake Christianity.
Mhm.
Like mixing racism with Christianity is just giving it a bad name, and I'm not for that.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Come back anytime, all right?
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, why did the last person drop? The last person that just got out of here, I don't know why that person dropped. I'll move on to the call in a second, guys. Give me one moment. Give me 1 second. Hold. 920, you still there? Hello? 920, you there? Hello. 920.
All right. Yeah.
There you are. All right. Hold on for me real quick. All right. Hey guys, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. We're at 14K likes, y'all. Keep tapping that screen. I have a goal right now. Let's get us to 40K likes, guys. Let's get us to 40K likes. Tap. I think we can do it. We can do it tonight, definitely, because we're early in the night and I'm already at 14K. I'm not sure why the other people dropped, guys. Like it's a queue, it's a timer. Like I'm gonna go ahead and get to you. It's just one-on-one for a second. So if anybody would like to talk, please go ahead and come on back. I'm going to go ahead and talk to my caller now. 920. Can I get your name, age, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah. My name is Jax. I'm 19. I was born in 2006. August 20th.
Okay, cool.
And yeah.
Do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
So I was gonna try and do that, but then like I just want to talk about politics. Like Can we talk about that? Because like you were talking about trans and that.
Okay, so you wanted to talk about politics. Yeah, we can we can do that, and we can do religion if you like. Hey,
Yeah,
Lil
got
Scott, welcome. I'm sorry, Jax. Give me 1 second. Lil Scott, welcome back. Give me 1 second because now Jax is in front of you. Okay, give me 1 second, Lil Scott. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so go ahead, Jax. Like, yeah, well, sure, we can talk about a little bit about politics. But first, are you any type of God believer, Christian, Muslim? Anything like that?
I'm
Jewish?
a Christian. Yeah,
You're a
I'm a
Christian.
Christian. Yeah.
All right. So
Mhm.
you're a Christian. So I don't want to assume, but since you want to talk politics about the trans stuff, I'm assuming you're against people being transsexual or transgender.
Yeah, it's just my like my religion. I don't really hate them. I just like don't believe what they do. Like I just don't agree with it.
When you say you don't agree with it, how can you because these are like how they are, right? It's like saying I disagree with someone having blue eyes. How can you do that? They
Well,
have
it's
blue
not
eyes.
because of how they are. They're not doing it because how they are. They're just chopping their privates off and pretending to be a girl or a boy
How do you know that?
and acting like it and making everyone say they are.
Okay, let me ask you a
It's
question.
not
Do
a
you understand?
God-given thing.
Hold on.
Just, yeah.
Do you understand how gender identity works?
Gender identity. What's a woman?
I'm asking you, do you understand how gender identity works? So like it's a yes or no question. We can get to what's a woman, but we can get into do you understand what gender identity is and how it works?
Yeah, gender identity. You were born a boy, so you got to be a boy. And that's what you be for
That's
forever and
not
ever.
really what it is, because no one is born a boy. You're born a male.
Yeah, you're born a male, and
Yeah,
what do you have? What instruments
male,
you have?
so you understand that
You have a
sex and gender are not the same, right?
Sex and gender. I'm sorry. Boys were given a penis, and girls were given a vagina.
Right. So
I'm
hold on.
pretty
Hey,
sure
hold on, Jax. Do you understand that sex and gender are not the same thing?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay,
But
so
the
cool.
instrument.
So you're saying boy is a gender. So sex is male. So if the sex is male and the gender is boy, do you understand that sometimes those things can be incongruent, where someone can be born male? Hold on. Someone can be born male.
It's not that hard.
So hey, Jax, I'm gonna need you to calm down, bro.
Yeah.
So
I know,
you understand that
I'm just
you
I'm playing Fortnite
stop
right
jumping
now.
in. So you can understand that someone can be born male or born female, and their gender is incongruent with what their sex is. I don't
agree with that.
Okay, you don't agree with that. Okay, so but here's the problem, Jax. That's what
What is a man?
Jax. So
what is a man?
Jax, neuroscience tells us that this is something that happens.
No,
that
why are
actually
you going
does
over
happen.
that question?
Because we're not done yet. We're not done with the first point yet. You already said that you disagree. You already said that you disagree that someone can be incongruent with their sex and their gender. That's fine. But how can you disagree with that when that's what neuroscience and psychology shows us? There's evidence for that.
That's what it says.
It does.
Sure that's like real.
It does.
Where'd you learn this from? TikTok?
No, I learned this from actual going to college. Where did you learn yours from?
Going to college? You learned it from actual going to college?
Yes,
Sorry,
I learned it. I learned it from I took English class, which is why I know sex and gender, are two different things.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
because I know sex and gender are two different things, so sex and gender are two different things. So that means I took English class. I also took psychology. Have you ever taken psychology?
Wow, you're a genius.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be a therapist, so I have to take psychology. It's not about being a genius.
Be a therapist? Oh my God.
I'm gonna be a therapist.
One day I'm gonna be just like you.
How old are you again?
What?
How old are you again?
I'm 19. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Great. All right, great. So if you're 19, I'm gonna need you to be mature about this.
Okay.
So I took psychology class. I took sociology, and in psychology, in sociology, in anthropology, we learned that trans people have always existed. This has always been a thing.
Where? What college did you go to?
I went to, well, I'm not gonna dox my college, but I went to an HBCU, and I'm in a master's program right now.
A master's program. And was this person that taught you this, was he a Democrat person? Was he like Democrat?
No, they don't vote.
They don't vote.
Well, actually, my sociology teacher My sociology teacher was actually from the West Indies. My psychology teacher was from Africa. So
From Africa.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, my psychology teacher was from Africa. My sociology teacher was from the West Indies, and I learned anthropology just through reading, essentially.
Well, I'm not too sure that's true. Just can you like identify what a woman is? What's a woman?
A woman is anyone whose internal sense of self aligns with the schemas of what we call female.
It is a person.
Adult human female.
It is a person.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know this.
Yeah, it's a person that has. You said because words change. But number one. Yes, we understand. Hold on, Jax. We all understand.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Jax, we all understand that the basic definition. You gotta wait, dude. We all know that we got. Jax, calm down. You're 19, right? Be mature, my guy.
Dude, what do you mean?
Not everybody talks the same. Not everybody talks the same way. You understand that, right?
Okay, that is a good point. I'm sorry. I was being disrespectful there. All right, yeah.
So we all understand that the formal, normal, or the basic definition is adult human female. We all know that, right? Now, cool. What is a female?
A human female. Yep, that's the normal thing. That's the exact thing.
Right.
There's
So what is a female? That's the mainstream definition. But what is a female?
A female? A person with an A chromosome that's much weaker, much more unathletic, which is true. Scientists have proven this, and they have proven all of this. And God-given thing that does not have a penis. What?
How old are you again?
I'm 19.
All right. You just said that a female is someone who's less athletic.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait. Listen to my question, Jax. You just said a female is someone. Hold on, Jax. Listen. You just said a female. Hold on. You just said a female is someone who's less athletic. Can you think you could beat Ron? You think you could beat Layla Ali in a fight?
Layla Ali? Yeah. You watch our bench?
All right, bro. Yeah, this is a child. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on. This is a child. This is definitely a child. This nigga said he could beat Layla Ali. Layla Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali, he could beat her in a fight. Holy fuck. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. All right, Lil Scott. How's it going, Lil Scott? Thank you for being patient. I appreciate you. Bot, we're gonna get to you next. Okay, Bot? Give me one moment. I just have Lil Scott on the stage. All right, Lil Scott, how's it going? Are you at least 18? Yeah. And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, the reason why I think you have to believe in a God is the reason why I want you to believe in a God is it is because of God we have living creatures on earth.
Okay, so you said
you got me?
So you said because of God is why we have living creatures on earth?
Yeah, precisely.
How do you know that?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 3.
How do you know that? How do you know that verse is true?
Yeah, the verse is true. Because scientists have been able to prove that the earth is about 14 billion years old.
Right, but that doesn't show that Genesis is true.
Yeah, it confirms.
No, it doesn't.
I just want you to read what is there.
Okay, so listen, Scott. So all Genesis gives us the creation story of Christianity. That's all it does. It doesn't give us a time. So to say that, hold on, Scott. Scott, listen. It doesn't give us a time. It doesn't give us any frame of reference. All it says was that God created this on this day, that day, that day. That's all Genesis says. So when you say that scientists confirm Genesis, no, they didn't. Because in Genesis, it says that the sun was created after the earth. But that's not possible. The sun is older than the earth. And scientists confirm that. So if scientists confirm that the sun is older than the earth, and the Bible says that the sun was created after the earth, then it actually disproved Genesis. So that would be incorrect, wouldn't it?
Well, like I want you to just read. I said from start. I said because of God we have living creatures. So now scientists only experiment on rock, and rock is not a living thing. You understand?
Scientists have not only experimented on rocks. That's wrong. But you're not really addressing what I brought out here. You said that scientists confirmed Genesis, but they didn't, because Genesis got something wrong. Genesis says that the sun was created after the earth, but we know that scientists confirm that the sun is older than the earth, so it's not possible of what Genesis says of the sun being created after the earth. That would not be possible.
Well, I'm talking about the creation of living thing.
Yeah, in the
said
Bible it says
the
that
existence of God.
right. So in the Bible it says that he created Adam first, and then Eve was created from his rib. But that's also not possible because
Now, it's
Yeah.
not past. It is not. When you check rib, the Greek word is not like a rib. It means a pattern, a pattern. So Adam is a half pattern, and Eve is another half pattern. That's why it uses rib. You understand? But
males
it doesn't
aren't
mean
first,
the
bro.
rib of
Males
You
aren't
said?
first. We all start off as females, really hermaphrodites, but we all start off mostly as female. So males aren't first.
Mhm.
Like our Y chromosome is a broken X. So males aren't first. We all essentially start off as either hermaphrodites or female. So the Bible would be wrong saying that a male is first. Also, the Bible simply saying something doesn't make it true. You just can't say that, the Bible says this and scientists confirmed it, and I'm bringing up that scientists are not confirming any of this. That it's all wrong. Yeah, I mean, so like when we're talking about these things, right? You would actually have to show what you're saying is true. The Bible does is what in Genesis can we show is true? Because yes, there are living creatures on the planet. That doesn't mean that what the Bible says about the living creatures is correct, because the Bible
Yeah,
doesn't
but
say anything about evolution, doesn't say anything about single cell organism, doesn't say anything about any of that. So
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But you see, sometimes when the Bible uses a word, the word is not understood as if like how it was used. Sometimes the Bible uses something like, let's say, language. When the Bible sometimes uses language, it doesn't mean verbally speaking. Like when you speak, when the Bible says language, it is telling you about knowledge. When the Bible says the language, it is telling you the knowledge. You understand? So sometimes the word that is being used there doesn't literally mean like.
so it's
You
not
get me,
it's
right?
not being literal. Basically, you're saying it's not
Yeah,
being literal
yeah.
to a T. Okay, cool. I can
Yeah.
understand that, right? Speaking in parables, not being literal to a T. Sure. All right. So if that's the case, which part of the Bible is a parable and which part is literal? How do we tell the difference?
It would depend on the context that word is being used.
It depends on the context. All right. So in the context of Genesis, is it a parable where is not literal, or is it literal?
It is a parable, because when you read, it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now it is coming to explain to you what it means by God creating the heaven and earth. It will tell you the earth was without form, you see, but at first it tells you God created heaven and the earth. So it is explaining itself, you understand? So it will tell you, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form. The darkness was upon the face of the earth, you understand? So the word darkness over there, it doesn't mean a shade or something. It is broken something. It is referring to sin. You understand?
How do you know all this? Because as far as I know, no one, like God has never come back to earth to say, this is what I mean by this when I said in Genesis, right? They've never done that. So how are you knowing all of this? How you know that these are just parables for sin? These are just parables and things like that. How do you know that?
So I'm coming. You also understand. So the thing, what you have to, ask yourself is, why did God create? You see, why did living thing have to come?
No, I'm
on
not.
this earth.
We don't need to get into any of that. What the question is,
Okay.
how do you
Yeah.
know what you're saying is true? Because you're saying, for example, God, when he said create the earth and there was darkness over the waters, he's talking about sin. How do you know that?
Yes. Because that's why I told you, when the Bible uses word, there's a meaning to that. You will get it throughout. You understand?
No, I understand that. I'm asking you is how do you know that? How do you know that when it came to these verses, these are parables and this is what it's talking to? This is what it's talking about. Like, how do you know that? Because God himself has never come down and said, hey, in Genesis, when I said let there be light, I was talking about the Big Bang. He's never come down to say that. So how do you know that's what he's talking about?
Yes. So that will bring us to those that wrote the Bible. You see, from the Old Testament, it was types, shadows, promises. But when it comes to the New Testament, it is promise fulfilled in reality. You understand? What was given
at all.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, in the Old Testament, what was being communicated to them was in type, shadow, and promises. But in the New Testament, we have been communicated through the promise that was made to them came in fulfillment. You understand? That is why John can come out and say, First John, he says, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God.
Give me a second. All right. So for everybody watching right now, I want y'all to drop a 1 in the comment if you understood what he said, and drop a 2 in the comments if you didn't understand shit word he said. Everyone drop a 2 in the comments if you did not understand, and a 1 in the comments if you did understand. Yeah, Scotty, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. I'm saying a whole bunch of 2s. No one understands what you mean. What the hell is all this, bro? We have no idea what you're saying. What you're saying here.
Oh, yeah. I'm building up to the reason why you have to believe in a God. Is that not the topic?
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on, guys. We're gonna move on to bot next because I don't know. I had no idea what was going on there. All right, so if you're watching me over on the Deconstruction Junction, guys, I appreciate y'all so much for watching me on Deconstruction Junction. You guys are great over there. Thank y'all so much. I'm not reading the comments. I do apologize because I cannot see the comments right now because I'm talking. But if you would like to call in, definitely call in, and I appreciate you. If you're watching me over on the Volcy Thoughts channel, thank y'all so much, y'all, over on the Volcy Thoughts. Go ahead and keep the likes going, keep the chat going. Thank you so much. Go ahead and spread it. Thank y'all so much for watching me over on the Bash channel, the Black Atheist, Skeptics, and Humanist channel. If you would like to be part of the Bash channel, if you are a creator who is a Black person, go ahead and hit me up so we can get you on the Bash channel. If you watch me over on Twitch, thank you so much for watching me on Twitch. I promise we're gonna go ahead and build up that Twitch. We'll get it up there. Steppa, come on up. We didn't get to talk a lot yesterday, but go ahead and come on up, Steppa, so we can go ahead and finish our conversation. Thank y'all so much for being here, y'all. Kay, thank you so much for being here as well.
Talking about some bias. No, we're not biased. You just don't make sense. That's really just what it comes down to.
Yeah, but like that, none of that shit makes sense to me at all. Like I was so lost. None of that shit makes sense. All right, we're gonna talk to Bot. All right, Bot, how's it going, Bot? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah.
All right, great.
25.
All right, great. Not a problem.
Reason to believe it.
Hold on. Wait, Bot, hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, so Bot, you're gonna talk to me first. All right, we do have Kay, the mod here in the building. You're gonna talk to me for at least about 10 minutes, and then she's gonna jump in the last 5.
And also known as the birthday girl today.
Oh yeah, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! You supposed
Thank
to be,
you.
What you doing here on the live? You're supposed to be getting ready. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get your face beat up and everything.
I am getting ready. I'm multitasking. I'm literally doing finishing up my makeup right now.
All right, cool. Because we're like, man, you gotta get your face beat up and get out on the town. All right, go with the girlies and stuff like that.
I'm literally going out with my homegirls today tomorrow and Sunday. So.
All right, cool. Definitely. Where y'all going?
We're doing brunch on Sunday.
Brunch on Sunday. All right. So tonight, tomorrow, y'all go ahead hit the night, go to the strip club, do all that. All right. Make sure you make it rain. Make it rain.
I'm like, no, make it rain on me. Damn it.
Yo,
okay.
If you ever down in Miami for your birthday, I'll tell you exactly where to go because they love birthday girls over at especially at G5 and the Office. They love birthday girls. They love birthday girls over there. So definitely go hit those up if you're ever in Miami.
Listen, I'm like, listen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my cash app in the comments because make it rain on me. Okay.
Oh yeah, y'all. Put a cash app in there, y'all. Go ahead and send K $5, $10, send her all that. All right. Put the cash app in the chat so we can go ahead and support K, y'all.
Okay. Period.
Yeah. All right, bot. Do apologize for that. All right, you're gonna talk to me for about the next 10 minutes, and then Kay will jump in within the last 5, or I'll extend the time if we need some more time to speak. Sound fair?
Okay, that's
thank you, Neil.
All right, cool.
Yeah, okay, bot. Go ahead.
All right, bot. She's gonna be on mute for the next 10 minutes. All right, cool. Bot, why should I believe in a God?
I think there's evidence for the God that I believe in. The evidence is just simply that our consciousness maps onto the external reality effectively, and it produces these like valuable things such as knowledge, agency, you being able to fulfill your goals, so on and so forth. I think something like that would be more expected if God existed than not existing.
Why?
Yeah, because I take God to be a value-sensitive designer.
What
and since he's by value-sensitive, I just mean that when it comes to him selecting for universes or just creating or being responsible for the universe in some way, he takes into account for valuable things. He seeks valuable things.
How you know that?
Just blessing y'all up with my faith as I get ready.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of his properties.
How do you know that?
How do I know that it's part of his properties? Because it's stipulated to be so.
So trust me, bro?
It's not a trust me, bro. It's just what I mean by the term God.
Right, but none of this leads us to a God, because I'm asking you that God, you said that the reason to believe in a God is because our conscious experience will map onto reality, right? And you're saying that that's what God would choose for. And I'm asking you, how do you know that? And you said, because that's what God does. And I'm asking, okay, we're not leading anywhere. How do you know? Because you're simply saying that this is what God does. And when I ask you, how do you know? Because I kind of said so. I can do the same thing for like the genie of the lamp, right? So how do we get to the God?
But that would just be ad hoc.
But that's exactly what you're doing.
No, because I can apply the God hypothesis to other areas. You couldn't apply the genie in the lamp to other areas.
Yeah, I can. Any area hypothesis you can apply your God to, I can apply the genie of the lamp.
Really?
Yep.
Can you explain evil with a genie in the lamp?
Yeah, the genie in the lamp is letting evil happen.
Yeah, why? What about the genie in the lamp allows evil?
Yeah, the genie in the lamp allows evil because he just wants it to happen, and he's testing us to believe and rub on lamps.
Wait, just by knowing that there's a genie in the lamp, how do you know the genie in the lamp wants anything?
Because he told me so. Trust me, bro.
He told you.
Yeah.
I
know. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I know. I agree. He told me so. Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
That's so hilarious.
Yeah, I know. He told me so. But you see what I'm doing, right? Like, this is how stupid it gets.
Ad hoc.
I know. That's exactly what you're doing. Ad hoc reasoning. So when I ask you, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're doing ad hoc reasoning. When I ask you, how do you know? When I ask you, how do you know? When I ask you, how do you know that your God is doing this? You said that these are just his properties. When I ask you, how do you know these are his properties? You literally said, trust me, bro. How do you know these are his properties?
It's stipulated that it's his properties.
How do you know that? When you say it's stipulated as properties, what does that mean, and how do you know that?
It means it was assigned. That's what his properties are. That's what is meant by God.
Right.
That's what is meant by God.
So trust me, bro. That's what I'm saying. You saying trust me?
Okay, sure. Like, yes, we stipulate what God is.
Right.
Why is that an issue?
I know you're stipulating what God is. The issue is, how do you know that God exists in the first place? You just can't say that I stipulate. Hold on, stop. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. No, you didn't. You simply said that our consciousness maps onto reality. So what? That doesn't make a God exist.
Okay. First of all, I said it would be better expected if there is a God, because
and how do you know that?
Right, because under the atheistic model of non-design class of entities, right, they're all value indifferent. If they're value indifferent, it would be surprising that there's something that exists that produces value.
No, it won't. No, it wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be.
Well, okay, so great. What would be the hypothesis to expect this? The relevant datum?
Evolution.
Oh, brother, evolution doesn't explain this.
Yeah, it does.
The reason why it doesn't explain this is because evolution, as we agree, selects for things that are, allows you to survive, right?
Right. And valuing things allows us to survive.
Hold on. Prior to evolution selecting for your consciousness ability to map the external world effectively, it would already have to select for consciousness, right?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, what do you mean, not necessarily?
You said what are the reason why evolution selected for consciousness is because it helped us survive, didn't it?
It helped you survive?
Mm-hmm.
So wait, how would it help you survive if it didn't already map onto the external reality effectively?
What?
Yeah, how would evolution select for consciousness if it already did not? If it already did not map onto the external world effectively?
Nigga, what? I really don't understand this question. What are you saying?
Why would evolution select for consciousness if it already? Oh, I said did not. If it already mapped onto the external world effectively.
What does that mean, bro? I'm not understanding your question at all. You just repeat. Hold on. Listen, I understand the words you're using. I'm not understanding the way you're putting them together. Your question does. That's what I'm saying. Your question doesn't make sense to me. I understand the words you're using, but the way you put them together doesn't make sense.
Okay, so listen. The reason why it doesn't explain this is because, like I said before, if evolution is selecting for consciousness to allow us to survive, that would already mean consciousness is able to effectively map the external world. If it could not effectively map the external world, then there will be no reason for evolution to select for consciousness for agents like you or non-human animals that need consciousness. Because if it wasn't effective, we would just die. How would we reproduce? How would we have these things?
Right, we wouldn't be able to reproduce if we weren't aware of reproduction. So
that's the point. So evolution can explain this because it presupposes the thing in question.
Hold on, but no, it doesn't. Evolution is understand that evolution is a blind process, right? Evolution is a completely blind process. It's a process. It's not actively doing anything. All it's doing is helping an organism survive. And if us having consciousness is a thing that led to more of our survival, of course it will select for that more because those that didn't died off.
Right. And in order for it to select for survival, it would already have to be true that your consciousness could map the external world effectively.
But so it would already have to be true that consciousness can map the external world selectively.
Effectively, yes.
I'm sorry. It can map the external world effectively. What does that mean?
What that means is that in order for evolution just explains why.
No. That's not my question. My question is, when you say map the external world effectively, what does that mean?
Yeah, what that means is basically our observations of the external world seem to be consistent.
Okay, so we for example, gravity working or me spinning this water bottle is consistent with everybody who saw it, mostly, right?
Our ability to do science, our experiences and memories, whatever.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that helps us survive, right? Because if there were organisms where that didn't happen, then they wouldn't be able to trust the external world or reproduce. So it's selected for that because it's effective. But I'm not sure how this now implies a God. All it implies is that this phenomena helped organisms survive. That's all. That's all it does.
So I understand that this phenomena helped organisms to survive. I'm saying the reason why it helped organisms to survive is that it produced these valuable things, which is science, agency, knowledge, so on and so forth.
It produced it for humans.
No, I think it produced for animals as well. I think animals have agency. I think some
they have agency, but they don't do science. Well, not all animals have agency. I think
the more complex animals might have knowledge. I'm not against affirming that.
Sure, so, more complex animals like crows have knowledge and dolphins have knowledge. Sure,
absolutely.
Social species tend to have things like empathy and knowledge and everything like that, right? And non-social species, except for insects don't seem to have empathy as far as we see. But like it's sure, like social species, at least most of them, have some sort of empathy or agency, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, sure, that could be true, right? What I'm having difficulty with is that because this is a phenomenon that happens, therefore God. I don't see why that's a thing.
Okay, so there's two plausible explanations for the datum. Either there's some designer behind it or there's not a designer behind it, right? And then we have the sub-hypotheses for both of those broad hypotheses. The sub-hypotheses for the designers include simulation hypotheses, like some alien with some really good technologies behind all of this, or there's a list of conceivable gods from different religions, or the ones that are stipulated, such as a god that is just simply the perfect being, a god with omni properties, so on and so forth, right? I'm saying there are a class of designers that are value sensitive, meaning that when it comes to them being responsible for the things you see, or in this case, the specific thing that I'm talking about, which is consciousness being able to effectively map the external world, which produces these valuable things, they would take in these sorts of things in mind and have the motivation to act upon them because they're sensitive towards value. Now, opposed to the non-design hypothesis, the reason why I would say it's surprising under there is because what takes up most of the space of the non-design hypothesis is value indifferent hypotheses, meaning that the specific kinds of things that you would say that are responsible for the universes that aren't conducive to intentionality or no agent or anything. There's no bias towards value, is what I'm saying. Therefore, it would be surprising that there are valuable things.
No, it wouldn't be, just because because the thing is like you're making a leap that really doesn't follow. Just because the universe is full of things that don't produce value doesn't mean all of a sudden us producing value is either impossible or shouldn't happen. Like that's not what
I didn't say it was impossible or shouldn't happen. Those aren't the words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, you said that it's surprising. What's surprising about it?
It's surprising given the kind of hypothesis that takes up the space under the non-design hypothesis.
What's surprising? But that's not surprising at all. So
I think it would be surprising if something is value indifferent and is producing things that are valuable. Yeah.
No, that's not surprising
at all.
That
would be surprising.
That's not surprising at all, because this is what evolution is. Evolution is value indifferent. And
I just said evolution doesn't explain this. I already explained why evolution doesn't explain this.
Yeah, it does, because evolution selects for consciousness.
Okay, I said in order for evolution to select for consciousness, it would already have to be the case that our observations of the external world would have to be consistent. It would already have to be true.
Of course, it will have to be consistent because it helps us survive.
So wait, if it's already consistent, how can evolution explain this? How can evolution explain this?
I'm really not understanding
something that's already true.
I'm not really understanding what you mean. The reason why we know it's true is literally because we evolved this way. That's the only reason why we know it's true. If we didn't evolve this way, we wouldn't know, would we?
Okay. Yes, we wouldn't know if we haven't evolved this way. But I'm saying that evolution couldn't explain why it's true. Evolution can only explain that it is true.
Evolution can't explain why we have consciousness.
No, evolution in this case cannot explain why our conscious states map the external world effectively. It can only tell us that it does,
because it helps us survive.
Oh, Jesus. I just explained what.
Listen, that's the why, dude. That's the hold on, stop. That's the why. It helps us survive. If it didn't help us survive, it wouldn't be here. Things that don't help us survive largely die off. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, things die off if they don't help us survive. The organisms that don't have it died off. I'm saying, and we're the organisms that have it, so we survived. Like it's effective, essentially. That's
Okay.
really the only reason.
What
That's the
I'm
why.
telling you. Okay, great. You recognize, right? You recognize that if our conscious states didn't match the external world, right, we wouldn't survive, right?
We won't survive.
Right. Why would, if that were false, right? Just say the initial animals that had brains that were here, right? Evolution's taking its process. If it was false that our conscious states map towards external reality, effectively, why would evolution select for consciousness?
What?
What?
I really don't understand that question. What do you mean by that?
Okay,
like
so
it's I don't know, man.
And
Like
I'm like,
you
am
have
I
to find a
am
way
I the only
to.
one confused?
Yeah,
do you believe we
Apparently, I'm not the only one confused.
okay,
yeah, I'm
do you
very
believe we
confused, man.
okay, so wait, do you believe we evolved from single cellular organisms?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there was a point in time in which us, humans, whatnot, we didn't have brains, right? We were just these simple single cellular organisms, right?
Yeah.
Evolution took its process, right? Eventually things got complex enough, and then we developed a brain.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now evolution recognizes that these entities have brains, and assuming physicalism, whatever, these brains produces consciousness. Great. Now we have consciousness. Now evolution needs to decide what to do with consciousness, right? Do I select for it? Do I not? Well, I know I'm speaking like I'm an agent, or I'm treating evolution as an agent, but I'm just, I'm saying that
You give it an example.
speaking on the process.
So
Right.
yeah, so when we got to the consciousness part, that we were at a crossroads. Evolutions could select for consciousness that is effective in mapping the external world, or consciousness that is not effective at effectively mapping the external world. Evolution is always going to go for what's the most effective thing that helps us survive, right? And it's selected
Right.
for the one that helped us survive, because organisms that didn't effectively map the external world died off. So because it didn't pass on that gene to effectively map the external world, now we're here. We're effectively mapping the external world because those that didn't died off. That's really
Great.
it.
Great. So the point is now, if that were true, the world itself, because mind you, I said our observations of the world is consistent with the things that, when it comes to, now, if the world was not consistent enough to that of our observations, what will happen?
We will die off.
That's the point I'm making. Because what I'm saying is the world came first. The world was already here before the evolutionary process started.
I got you, but this is not leading us to a god at all. This is just just saying that that evolution selected for something that helped us survive effectively. That's really it. That doesn't get us to a god.
I said to you, and the evolutionary process took place secondary. What came first was the world. The world itself
you have to have a world of already. Of course.
Okay, great. What I'm saying is the world would already have to be consistent. Our observations of the external world, when it comes to gravity, when it comes to certain things, are when it comes to the second law of like thermodynamics or whatever, those things would have to be consistent.
Yeah, but that's
right?
but that's just physics, though, bro. Like, are you saying that physics has to be consistent for us to understand physics? Like, I'm not sure what.
No, I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is that the world itself, our observations of the world, right, would have to be consistent for our survival. If it was not, then we wouldn't be able to survive.
Okay, so like if gravity changed tomorrow, organisms wouldn't be surviving. Like if gravity changed day by day, we wouldn't survive.
Gravity was changing every single
day.
Second, yes,
exactly. No organism will survive. No, agreed with that. These things have to be consistent. But how does this? I got you. Give me a second. How does that get us to a god, though? Just because, just because like the laws of physics are consistently consistent, what does that get us?
Wait, what that gets you is that if the laws are going to be consistent, or these correlations are going to be consistent, with the organisms that live here, what's going to happen is that the organisms are going to be able to thrive and to live. Okay, and there's going to be an evolutionary process. If there's going to be an evolutionary process, what ends up happening is that there's going to be these conscious entities, like you and I, or the non-human animals that exist, right? And then those conscious entities are going to have the ability for agency, knowledge, or these complex relationships, and those produce valuable things. Well, if I'm a designer and I'm sensitive towards valuable things, and I want valuable things, right? When it comes to me being responsible for anything, I would take something like this in mind. That's the point I'm making.
Right. I mean, I get that, right? But it's like, even without a designer, these things could still happen. But you're saying that it's surprising.
I'm not denying that.
You're just simply saying that it's surprising that it does. What's surprising about it?
Okay, number one, we're just looking at a singular universe. We're only looking at a singular universe here. If there's only a singular universe, And let's just say that the non-design hypothesis is just naturalism, which is the idea that that how things follow under naturalistic explanations and causal closure. There's no supernatural entities whatsoever, right? The problem is from there, you couldn't infer that there will be valuable things.
So
from there, you
like I'm not. Hold on. The thing is, what I think the issue that I'm having here is that you're putting like all the heavy lifting on value, right? There wouldn't be valuable things, or like we can't infer value from a valueless world. So what? That doesn't lead us to a God. So just because like we value things, right, doesn't mean that our universe was created for us to value things. That's kind of post hoc.
It doesn't have to be necessarily the case, nor does it have to be most likely the case that's it was created. Some designer created the world for us to value things. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it just needs to take up a non-negligible portion of the design space. I agree with you that, and this was the objection raised, is that most of the designers just wouldn't care about humans, just wouldn't care about any of this. Even if they were all powerful, all knowing or whatever, even if they were value sensitive, they could just not create anything, right? They might just create things that are completely alien to it. Like they'll probably create a universe just made of cheese wheels or stuff like that. The point what I'm making is, even if that is true, even if most of them don't care, there's still a non-negligible portion that does care. And I'm saying under that non-negligible portion, that's where God rests. And I'm saying when it comes to that, and I would just say like out of the entire percentage, I'd probably say like what, 1%? 1% is how much they take up, while the 99% don't care.
You're presupposing that.
Yeah, that's the issue that I'm getting to. Yeah, you're putting all these designers in these God things, right? But we can't even get there. Like we don't even know these God things even. How do we show these things exist? And us valuing things, just like how you said, doesn't mean that they exist. Yeah, I mean, so why would we believe it just because we value things? You
believe it if there's enough evidence to motivate its probability over the other designers.
No, I want actual piece of data.
But the point is there is no evidence. That is the point. Your job here is to provide evidence and to give Volcy a good reason to believe in a God. That is the point of the lie.
I just gave the reason.
But the thing is, that's not a good reason.
But you didn't. You didn't give a good reason.
Oh,
No, hold on. It literally says in the background, right? Give me a good reason to believe in your God. So Volcy is asking you to give him a good reason.
Yet something that, if by good reason, you just mean some evidence that raises its probability of it being more likely than not. That's how I understand good reason, unless you mean something completely different.
But you haven't provided any evidence.
But I did this entire time.
But you didn't. All you said was that we value things, and I defined God as something that values things. That's not evidence or anything.
That's not the piece of evidence.
It's paraphrasing. It's paraphrasing everything you said. Sure.
Dude, you just took like I think you just took the last 2 sentences of our conversation and ignored the prior like 9 minutes and 59 seconds.
But you do realize I've been listening this whole time, right? I mean, I am doing my makeup to get ready to go up. I've been listening this whole time, literally. I have not heard a single bit of evidence. I've heard you have the conversation with Volcy. I've heard you give your reasoning that you believe in a God. I have not heard you give any credible evidence for your God.
What is meant by credible evidence? Why does evidence have to be credible? If it's not,
why does evidence have to be credible? Because I'm black, I don't want to go to jail, so you better have credible evidence I did a crime. Yeah, so like evidence has to be credible. But like, no, I'm being ridiculous. But no, I'm being ridiculous.
What do you think credible means?
I think because you said, why does evidence have to be credible? Yeah, because I live. Case. Hold on. I live in a white supremacist country. Yeah, evidence better be credible. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing.
I'm being outside of us living in a white supremacist country. We live in reality, and so in reality, we believe things after we have credible evidence for them. So human beings did not believe that you could go to the moon until they could actually go, and we provided evidence that human beings could go to the moon. That was once thought to be an impossible concept until human beings actually provided, guess what? Evidence for
That's possible.
I'm like, and that you could do that. So I'm like, when you go to your doctor, I'm like, you're not going to that doctor because of not having credible evidence. You are going to that doctor because they specialize in expertise to treat you for whatever you're going to. There is evidence that you can go to their, or you can ask for their medical licensing. You can ask for all of these things, and there will be evidence of their education, credible evidence, because it's illegal to fake those things.
Yeah, but not every evidence is empirical. You do know that, right?
Okay, sure. Not everything is empirical. Let's say I accept that.
It is empirical, though.
No, it is. It is.
It is empirical.
It's empirical. So, hold on. Wait.
What would be the evidence that Clark Kent is Superman?
If it's not empirical, then it's not good evidence.
The empirical evidence that Clark Kent is Superman is the fact that the author of Superman gave the character name Clark Kent. So that's the empirical evidence. But if we get back to this entire thing about values and stuff like that, right? I'm still not seeing how this leads us to a God, because I understood everything that you said. If there's designers and those designers care about value, then they will create a universe where value pops up. If the universe is not designed and it's a valueless universe and values still pop up, why did values pop up then? And it's explained through evolution. As a matter of fact, we got consciousness, and because of our consciousness, we are a species that survives together. So there are things that's going to be complex, and in that complex species, we value things. That's simply what happens. I'm not seeing how us valuing things raises the proposition that there's now a designer that also values things. You need to show the designer first, and you have.
That's not the relevant datum. Because you keep saying that. The relevant data, as I've said earlier, please.
It's relevant to the conversation.
But here's my question. Can you show the designer first?
What do you mean by show the designer?
If you're saying
to pull him out the pocket,
does it exist? Can you show it in our five senses? Can you show where we can feel it, touch it, smell it?
You can't. That's just
provide
so low tier. What do you mean feel it and touch it? Like, you can't touch numbers, you can't feel numbers, but you know numbers are out there.
Numbers don't exist. We made them up.
Okay, great. But you recognize, just to be clear, you are able to talk about numbers.
Yeah, we're able to talk about numbers. Sure.
Yeah,
you recognize that there is numbers, even though they don't exist. You recognize they're
able to say a lot of things. All words are made up. You're not saying anything. We're asking you to provide credible evidence for your God. Can you do it or not?
So, look, if you're looking for empirical evidence, you're not going to find empirical evidence.
Right,
yeah, but you're not going to find empirical evidence because your God don't exist.
No, that's begging the question.
Wait, I got you. Let's go back. Okay, cool. So we can't empirically show God. What is the way to do it then?
You do it through that of reasoning, abstract reasoning.
Abstract
reasoning is not empirical.
All right, great. So abstract.
It's not how we make laws. It's not where we go to the doctor. You do not use abstract reasoning for any
what?
No.
Abstract reasoning is not why we go to the doctor. I mean, okay.
It's not. No, it's not. We go to the doctor because we're sick. It's not abstract reasons. My bad, Kate. Go ahead.
You do not use abstract reasoning for anything else outside this. And that's why I'm not accepting it. Because I know for a fact that you do not use abstract reasoning to come to any other conclusion except for religion. And I know that's true. Because
I'm not even religious. This is just cope. And no, we use abstract reasoning in everyday life. Abstract reasoning includes critical thinking. Are you saying we don't use critical thinking?
All right, hold on.
This is just like,
stop.
We do not.
Come on, everybody. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. I understand that there are times we use abstract reasoning. That's fine. But when it comes to these type of questions, if you're saying that these things exist, then abstract reasoning is not really going to work here, because we can do the same thing for dragons and leprechauns, right? We can use abstract reasoning for those things. but we're not going to do that.
We
None
can
of us.
use abstract reasoning to prove that Baltimore and Harry Potter is real. What the fuck are we talking about?
Exactly. We won't, like, we're not gonna really get anywhere. We can use abstract reasoning for Spider-Man, but you're not gonna seriously say Spider-Man exists. Hold on, bud. You're not gonna seriously say Voldemort or dragons or leprechauns or the pink unicorn in the middle of Neptune exists because of abstract reasoning. We're not gonna do that. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to something as a god, yeah, sure, we can go through the abstraction, but at a certain point, we need to show how this is true, or we need to show the evidence that it's true, right? And if we can't do that, then there's no really reason to believe it. When, for example, let me give you one example of something that they use abstractly, and then humans were able to verify it later, and that's atoms. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, it was either Aristotle or what was his name? Or was it Aristotle, Pluto? Not Pluto. I forgot what his name was. But anyway, Plato. There we go. It was either one of them that came up with the idea of atoms, and they did it abstractly, right? But people didn't actually believe that atoms existed until we were actually able to, like, microscopically see atoms existing, right? Or come up with a mathematical model of atoms existing and able to prove it later. That's how we're able to prove it demonstrably, right? So we can do the entire abstract thing of the designer, but at a certain point, we're going to need something demonstrable. And you already said that we can't do that. So if we can't do that, what's the reason to believe it? Like, what makes it reasonable? What raises like you said, what raises the proposition? You said what raises the proposition is we value things. That doesn't do that for me. So can you understand where I'm coming from now, Bot? It doesn't do that for me it doesn't raise the proposition that a God exists just because we value.
I'll just say
Does that make
just
sense?
favors your existence. That's why.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that one more time, Bot. I didn't hear you.
Your existence is favored if God exists.
My existence
not existing.
My existence is favored. Favored by what? Would you say?
By what?
Yeah, your existence will be favored by God if God existed.
That's what I'm saying. It seems to be going in a circle. But
So
okay.
So I have a question.
I'm sorry. Okay, you can go ahead. But I do know that Aishay was also here. He wanted to say something.
Yeah,
Aishay, I'm gonna get to you in a second, Aishay. I promise. Let me just let Kay go because I interrupted her. Kay, go ahead, and then we'll get to Aishay. Go ahead, Kay.
No, it's fine. I do want to ask, because he's saying that, like, if there is a God, that would mean that our existence would be favored. Does God, favor Schmittler? Does God favor the slaveholders of the past who enslaved my ancestors?
Listen,
they favored
for the third time, I'm not religious. I'm not. Whatever shots you have at Christianity, take it up with them. I'm not a Christian.
You literally believe in a God. Like, just answer my question, Bob.
That doesn't
answer
make
it directly. I don't know why you're trying to get around that.
That doesn't make you a Christian.
Answer my question directly.
Look, I don't know if this person values. I don't know if this person personally values Schmittler for the things they've done, or just Schmittler as. Look, all I know is that they value conscious agents. That's it.
I'm like, no. I'm like, I didn't ask you all that. That's not what I asked.
Did you not ask me? Does this designer value Schmittler?
I asked you if
you didn't answer.
No. Listen to what I'm actually saying. Listen and comprehend what I'm saying, and don't just listen to respond. I asked you in response to you saying to Volcy that if a God exists, that his existence would be favored. I'm assuming human existence would be favored. I asked you, listen. I know that's hard for you. Listen to what the words that are coming out of my mouth. Does God, your God, if human existence is just favored automatically, does God favor Schmittler? Does your God favor the slaveholders of the past who enslaved my ancestors? That is the question. You can answer it directly. I'm saying this very, very slowly so you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
The answer is yes. Every conscious agent, including non-human animals.
I'm like, thank you so much for answering. So you admit that your God favors atrocious people. just based on the fact that they're conscious agents. That's not a God worthy of worship at all.
Why not? I'm sorry?
I'm like, are you asking me why a God that favors slaveholders that enslaved my African ancestors are worthy of worship? Are worthy of worship? Are you asking me why I said that? Are you saying that with your full chest?
Yeah, because you do realize you can value someone for what they are, which is that they're a conscious agent and not necessarily what they.
I don't give a fuck what you valuing them for. If you value the people who enslaved my ancestors, bitch, you ain't worthy of my worship. Period.
That's your subjective opinion, and that's fine.
It's not an subjective opinion. I'm not worshiping anyone that the morality could be that corrupt that they would think that it is okay to favor the existence of a
if I don't take God to be all loving, what would be your response if God's not all loving?
Okay, then okay, if he doesn't love people, then fuck him. All right, cool.
There's no reason to worship him anyway. There's no reason to worship him anyway.
If he doesn't love people, then fuck him. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm not sure if we got to Ashe yet. Ashe, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for being patient with me. I do apologize that we haven't gotten to you for a second. So Ashe, go ahead and talk to us. Are you over 18? And do you think you give us good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I'm over 18. I'm 37. Yes, and I do believe that there is a God because of our inner ability to create sentient life. So with that, and then also I don't believe
our inner ability to what? Ashe?
Create sentient life. You know what I'm saying? We cannot do that.
I'm like, women can do that already.
No, women can't do that.
Yeah, women can do that. Women create sentient life all the time. Women give birth. So yes, women can do that.
If I can state my premise, I would. Then,
go ahead. State your full premise. So
my full premise is that a woman cannot create sentient life with her hands. We have not been able to do that. Okay. Your body was already made. Your body was already made before you got here.
My body wasn't made. It developed through stages and development, like every other human being.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just finish off what you're saying, so we get the full picture, and then we'll go ahead and respond. Go ahead.
So I believe that a power exists outside of us, existing. Even inside of a woman's womb, there is a blast of light when a sperm cell goes into the egg. That has been proven. That's been proven up under a microscope that there is a blast of light when a sperm cell goes into a woman's egg. It is a blast of light. And then also it's been proven that when
look that up.
One second. Let me finish. Then on top of that premise that that supernatural things and events that have happened, as far as the things that I've seen in my life shows me that there is a God. Things that cannot be explained. There are things that happen that can't be explained. So with that premise, and also I don't believe in evolution. I believe in epigenetics. So that epigenetics is not the purpose of evolution. Is the ability to adapt to an environment. That's epigenetics. Or if you are living in an environment to where you can also as far as epigenetic goes, is that there are some things inside of us that lies dormant. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to believe that, because I'm pretty sure you believe that a woman can conceive life on her own. So, but I don't believe that either. I believe that we both made it.
Actually, okay. So I'll let you go.
I did look it up, and what he said was a factual statement that there is a speed of light when a man's sperm fertilizes a woman's egg. That does not mean, one, that there's a God. That doesn't mean that. Number two, that a woman cannot create a sentient life. But, because I know you're not attributing that to a male God, because that would be offensive to women.
All right. So Ashe, when it comes to the whole flash of light thing, that's just a chemical reaction. chemical reactions can produce light. That's fine. That's all and well. So the flash of light thing is like just full of crap. But you were also talking about epigenetics. I don't think you understand what the word epigenetics actually means, because epigenetics is not about adapting to a certain environment. Epigenetics is about behavioral changes that can happen and pass down through your genes, like, you know, traumatic slave syndrome and stuff like that. That's epigenetics. You say you don't believe in evolution, but that term right there,
is literally a
epigenetics,
direct cause of evolution.
Evolution, exactly. So, epigenetics is literally a direct cause of evolution itself. Adaptation and change to your environment, changes to allele frequencies over time within a population, changing in adaptation, all that. That's evolution, bro. So when you say that you don't believe in evolution, but you're citing evolution, it sounds kind of crazy.
I'm like, but also I want to call Cap because he does. I'm sure he does believe it. Example, Ashe. Have you ever seen a cat or a dog? Have you seen those things? Just walk about, I'm sure, people's houses.
Yes,
you know,
I have
pets.
seen that. Yes.
I'm like, a cat, a house cat, and a dog. I'm like, evolved from lions. I'm like, in bigger cats as well, and for dogs, wolves, etc. So I'm like, so you're saying that you do not believe in evolution, yet you literally have seen the results of it before your eyes.
So can I respond?
I mean, yeah, sure. So the two things that we talked about before is, number one, the flash of light thing. That's simply a chemical reaction. Number two, you said you don't believe in evolution, but you cited a result of evolution, which is epigenetics. And number three, we have evidence of evolution, like how Kay just pointed out. You don't believe in evolution, but you cited a result of evolution, which is epigenetics. And number three, we
$2020, 4 GB RAM, 32 GB of storage. Let's go, chat. 10 seconds on this. Okay, these are all tested and refurbished. They look and work like new. Let's go. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. I have another Dell 3100 non-touch 11-inch Chromebook. Let's go. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. Let's go, chat.
Down to a microscope had to be created by some sentient life form that can show us that not sentient life form. I use sentient wrong in that sense, but there has to be an intelligent life form that had to create this in order for these things to be structured the way they are structured. There is no, like, we can't do these things with the use of our hands. Our bodies were already here, were created. We were already a cell in an organism before we came here. So that, in a sense, cannot happen unless we have something that exists outside of space and time.
You're making that up though, because
I'm not making that up.
I know what you mean.
Yes, you are. But you are though. Number one, because you're attributing the fact. I'm attributing the fact that, like, there has to be a sentient being. You're presupposing that.
You're putting the cart.
No, I'm not presupposing that.
You are presupposing that though.
Yeah,
you're literally presupposing that.
So Ashe, you're putting the cart before the horse. I'm just saying. Yeah, you're putting the cart before the horse. You're saying that, even though it's a chemical reaction, there had to be some sort of intelligent creature to make that happen. How do you know that? You're not really explaining how that's the case. You're simply saying it's the case. You need to actually show the designer first, or show the God first, before you say the God is responsible for anything. You just can't say that.
Yeah,
this is a fun. Hold on, wait. You just can't say that. Wait, hold on. You can't simply say that this is the phenomena that we see in our world, therefore God is responsible for it. You can't say that. You need to actually show a God responsible for it first before you say that the phenomena is a result of that God. You understand?
Okay, so the question I have to ask to you is, what is responsible for it?
What's responsible for what? It depends on what you're talking about.
What's responsible for a blast of light? What is responsible for the
The blast
creation
of
of
light.
light?
Wait,
He
hold
What's
on.
literally just
responsible
told you
for
a chemical reaction.
It's a chemical reaction.
He just answered that.
Because
but
when
a
a
chemical
hold on,
reaction had to
Ashay, wait, I'm explaining. When a sperm cell hits an egg cell, when that happens, right, that interaction, it releases atoms basically, and those atoms are calcium atoms. And when those calcium atoms interact like that within that chemical environment, they produce light. That's the reason why.
Okay, what created that?
What created what?
What created the atoms?
What do you mean what created the atoms?
Yes, what created it? Something had
Atoms.
to create it.
No, atoms are
No, it
elementary
does.
particles.
Something does have to. Atoms are not created. Those things naturally exist. Things don't.
So you don't
have
think
to be
there's a
created.
power system?
You're presupposing that.
When you say a power system, what does that mean? So I should slow down for me.
So
hold on, slow down for me. You said
okay.
What created atoms? Atoms simply exist. Nothing created atoms. They just exist. They're elementary particles. Now,
Okay,
there are
so-
other
so-
things that
so-
that now, like for example, oxygen molecules exist, and oxygen molecules are made up of atoms. But atoms are basically elementary particles. Like they just exist. Nothing creates them.
So the question I have to ask to you is, where would something get energy from? Energy has to start from something.
Energy is a property of a system. It's not a thing unto itself.
Exactly. Something had to create the system for it to happen.
Wait.
No,
hold on.
it doesn't. You're presupposing that.
I'm not presupposing that.
But you
you're
are.
not making
You're
sense when you say that.
presupposing it.
You're not making sense when you say that, because
No,
if I
you're
said
not
that something
making
created
sense.
that, you can't
You're
tell
saying
me
because
what
a
created
system
it.
exists, it has to be God. That don't make sense.
That does make sense. That makes a whole
No,
lot
it
of sense.
doesn't.
Yes, something has to exist outside
No,
of that
it
for it to happen.
doesn't. You're presupposing it.
All right, everybody slow down real quick. When I say that energy is simply a property of a system, your question is what created that system. My point in saying that is that when it comes to energy, right? Energy is not a thing unto itself. It's simply a property of us. Like, for example, black, for example, the shirt I'm wearing is black, right? Black is just an absorption of light, essentially. That's all it is. It absorbs all the wavelengths of light, and then you get black. That's all it really is, right? It's a property. It's not a thing unto itself. So when that's what I mean when I say energy is a property of a system. Now, the system that you're talking about. Hold on, give me a second. Hey, babe, they can see you twerking in the background. But so she probably has her earphones on. She's not hearing me. So the when you say what created the system, right? So are you talking about the universe itself?
Yes, the universe itself.
All right. So the universe expanded from the hot dense state as far as what we saw. There was no, like, when you say creation, do you mean like something willful?
So you were there.
Like, hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Are you talking about something willful or something that's a natural process? How are you using create there?
So what I mean by create is this, right? A natural process. So if we're saying natural, right? The thing is that in order for something to exist, something has to have a beginning, right?
All right. So you're not answering my question.
You're presupposing.
I'm asking a yes or no question.
Wait, hold on, guys. I don't think he's understanding my question. So my question, Ashay, is like, how are you using create? Are you using create like a willful agent, like me grabbing up this water bottle? Like, that's willful, right? Or are you using create in a sense of something naturally happening? For example, we know clouds create rain, but no one's making the clouds do that. They just do that as a consequence of physics. You see what I'm saying? So are you using create in the sense of a willful thing or the sense of a natural process? How are you using create?
The sense of a natural process.
The sense of a natural process. Okay, cool. If you're saying a sense of a natural process, it's very, very possible, and in my opinion, it's very likely that the expansion of space-time was the result of a natural or physical process that we simply don't understand yet. We don't have the math or the models to understand how it happened. But there's no
So that's
willful
an educated
agent.
guess, right?
It's an educated guess. Yeah, there's
That's
no
an
willful
educated
agent.
guess, right?
This is my guess. Yeah.
Okay, so me believing the way I believe that if something, everything has a beginning and everything has an end. So if everything has a beginning, something had to exist outside of that for it to begin.
You keep on presupposing that.
I'm not
Provide
presupposing
evidence.
That's
no, you are presupposing that though. You're presupposing because something exists, something has to create it, rather than a natural process, like you just said, that just happens to come about through a natural process. Like, for example, evolution is a natural process. It was not something that was created. So it is on you to provide evidence for the fact that there is a willful agent that is responsible for creation. You have not done that. It is presupposed.
Ashay, before you answer, give me a second. Before you answer, give me a second. All right, y'all, we're at 35,000 likes. Get those last 5,000. Tap that screen. Let's get that last 5,000. I have a 40,000 like goal. So tap that screen, y'all. I do appreciate y'all for being here. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm gonna get out of here probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We only have Ashay and Hayani. I'm sorry I butchered that, but we have Ashay and Hayani. Those are the last guests for now. Hayani, I'm gonna get you in a second.
Some type of Asian, and that's hard for me to pronounce.
That's hard for me to pronounce. Yeah, Hayani, I'm gonna get you in a second. Okay. So Ashay, you understand? Do you understand what Kay just said there? You're presupposing an agent there. You're saying that something had to start the universe. There had to be something before it. But how do you know that? You're simply just saying that there had to be. How will we know?
Just like you're saying that this is a natural event and that nothing was beginning, you're presupposing that. So we both was not there. So both of the general consensus should be, if I believe that there was something there, something has to have a beginning and it has an end. If something has to exist outside of that, a power. This power may not be in a power that you may believe in, but something had to. A natural event is caused by something. There's a cause and effect. If you don't believe in the cause and effect, then what you're saying is presupposing. Let me finish. Listen. I'm not done talking. You're talking every time you talk.
Because I can interject, because that's my job.
Listen, let me finish. Let me.
I've been listening the entire
time.
Let me finish
my.
You keep on going in circles. That is the problem.
I can only finish my
off of mute one more time when I put you on mute.
I'm gonna land.
Bye.
I'm gonna land my plane. Let me land my.
No, because you're not respecting me. And it's fun. Because notice, Volcy, he did not cut you off once. If you put him on mute, I doubt he would have came off mute. He's doing that specifically because that's his misogyny coming out.
Mm-hmm. Probably. That's likely. All right, guys. So we're out of guests. I'm not sure why Hayani dropped.
No, Hayani did drop. I didn't drop Hayani.
Yeah, me neither. I'll bring him back up. But Hayani, go ahead and come back up if you would like to. Go ahead and come back up. But I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's his misogyny coming out. Cause bitch, cause girl, no. Because you do have to respect me because I'm a mod. And and that's the job that Volcy gave me to do. So my job is to direct the conversation and where it needs to go. If it keeps on going in circles, my job is to put it to make sure it doesn't keep on going in circles. That was the point. Just like the gentleman that came up yesterday. He came up, kept on speaking in circles the whole. Used up his entire 20 minutes because he had to go somewhere, and kept on going in circles and said that I just was cutting him off. No, I'm trying to get you to land your plane and to not continue to go in circles. That is literally what my job is.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So if you're watching me over on a Deconstruction Junction, you can definitely call in. Tristan has been crashing out in the comments for like the past 15 minutes now. Not sure why he just won't call in. All right. Oh, you don't have any disagreements. Okay, cool. My bad, Tristan. I thought you were disagreeing with me. I do apologize.
You can't, because that's the problem. You can't come off and disrespect mods. You cannot come off and disrespect the host. This ain't your house.
Yeah, it's very easy. Very easy.
Like I don't even come off mute when Volcy's talking. You'll see me. I will go straight on mute the moment he starts talking.
Oh man. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get this moving and get on out of here. So where you going tonight, okay?
I might go to Applebee's. I'm like, and then maybe the after hours with the girls. You know, my makeup is almost done. I'm like, unfortunately, I cannot apply false eyelashes for shit. I hate doing it. So mascara is gonna be, because I'm terrible at applying false eyelashes on myself.
Yo, I was my lady had the same issue, and I had to help put it in. I don't know how I did it, but she said I did a good job. She said I could be one of those guys that does lashes. I'm like, I ain't doing that.
Not a lash tech.
So I could be a lash tech. Like, I don't know.
Like, listen, I'm so bad at it. It's so I always end up wearing mascara because, like, but I have some pretty good mascara. Ladies, by the way, if you want some really good mascara, get the Better Than Sex mascara. It's so good. Like, you apply a few of those layers on, honey, your lashes will be seen. Listen. It'll be on your forehead. Okay, listen. it's such a good mascara, and I sometimes layer it on with some Maybelline from Fit Me Maybelline, but I do like the I prefer the Better Than Sex mascara. It's so good. I'm like, and it's better and it's good because I cannot apply false eyelashes to save my life. If I had to apply false eyelashes in my life to depend on it, I would be. If I had to apply false eyelashes for my life to be saved, I would literally be unalived. Literally, it would be awful.
Oh man! All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and.
Also, it does not help that I have hooded eyes. That does not help at all.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this, y'all. I'm just letting.
Well, shit, now you know how I be feeling most of the time when you be speaking about whatever, about your gaming stuff, honey.
Oh, yeah, gaming and anime.
I'll be knowing a damn thing you be talking about. I just be like, okay.
I'll be like, yeah, bro, did you see Hunter x Hunter? You be enjoying nothing.
And I'm just listening, like, living my best life, you know, just trying. I'm like, can't add anything to that conversation.
Hey, listen, there's anime for the girlies too. Sailor Moon is still my favorite. Like, Sailor Moon is fire.
I'm sure that's true. I just never have watched anime.
No, I feel you. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's not for everybody.
No, I've never. I don't even know if I just have never watched it.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Big Ben.
Oh man,
I'm sure it is. I'm like, listen, I have friends that love anime. I just don't know what to be talking about.
yeah. Well, we definitely gotta get you into it because I want to take everybody to DreamCon one of these days. You know what I mean? Like, because DreamCon this year, DreamCon is basically like the Black Nerd Convention. Oh, let me do this real quick. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all. 41K likes, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for the 41K likes. Where's my sound effects? Where's my sound effects? There it is. Hold on. Let me play this. There we go. Thank y'all so much for the 41K likes, man. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for getting me there. Oh, yeah. Big Hunter x Hunter fan. I haven't seen it in a while, though. I got to go back to Hunter x Hunter and catch the last one. All right. We have one last person, y'all. Oh, he dropped. Okay, all right, whatever. All right, so not one last person. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here then. All right, so y'all, thank y'all so much. Yeah, I definitely want to bring the Black Atheist out to BlurredCon one of these years. Yeah, I mean we got to do that. So that means for us to go to BlurredCon, we got to catch her up on some anime, y'all. Y'all drop some animes for Kay. Yeah, I mean, drop them.
I mean, I might watch it tonight on my way back.
Yeah, we're gonna nerd you out. We're gonna nerd you out for sure. What's a good one? I grew up on, of course, Bleach and Naruto and One Piece. But the good one right now is Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is really good. I love Solo Leveling. Vineland. What was it? I Dream of Vineland. That was Vineland was so good. Don't no. Attack on Titan is traumatizing, y'all. Attack on Titan is traumatizing. Yo, one of my, because what was it? My little sister, right? My little sister, I told her, you know, it was the same thing. I said, hey, listen, just watch one anime, watch Attack on Titan. She called me an hour later. She said,
Demon Hunters count,
yeah.
so.
Let me tell you, my little sister called me an hour later and she said, I hate you because you traumatized me for the first episode of Attack on Titan. She said Attack on Titan was so traumatizing, but she got to finish watching it. But yeah, Attack on Titan is really good.
It's probably how I felt when I was 12, thinking that I was going to go see Halloween Town. I ended up seeing Halloween with Michael Myers.
Ooh, boy. Oh, yeah, you definitely got traumatized.
I was not grown enough.
Not grown enough for that.
I thought I was going to see it. Y'all remember Halloween Town? I really thought I was going to see because I thought a new Halloween Town came out. I'm like, oh, let me go see it. I ended up in the movie theater watching Michael Myers in Halloween, and it was so so much fun. Listen, I was actually shaking. My poor 12-year-old.
Yeah. You definitely got traumatized. But yeah,
it didn't help. It did not help that a few months before that I almost drowned.
Oof.
So I almost so I had two traumatizing experiences that same year.
Oh man. Oh, I heard Record of Ragnarok is good too. I'm gonna watch Record of Ragnarok tonight. Oh,
is the Boondocks anime technically?
The Boondocks is technically anime. Yeah, it is. It's technically anime.
I mean, I've never watched. Funny enough, I've never watched the full episode of the Boondocks. You would think I would have, but I have not.
Oh my god, so good. The Boondocks.
I watched Proud Family and stuff. You know.
Yeah, of course, that's a classic.
I used to love the Proud Family as a kid.
Proud Family's a classic.
Are you an atheist?
Yes, I am an atheist. All right, so Apocalypse. All right, so Truth, how's it going, Truth? You're gonna be my last guest for tonight before I get out of here because I just took me an Eddie Winslow and I gotta go ahead and get lit tonight. All right,
I'm like Eddie Winslow is absolutely sending me. Absolutely.
Okay, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Okay, so you want me to give you a reason as to why you should believe in my God?
Yeah, sure. What's a good reason to believe in your God?
Okay, what's a good reason to believe in the Christian God? Okay, can you explain to me why in every part of the world, irregardless of people's traditions, their beliefs, their preconceived notions, why is it specifically, out of all religions, specifically the man Jesus, that specific religious figure, his name is blasphemed continually every day? Can you explain that for me?
Yeah, because of colonialism. What happened is that, especially in the United States, the way that Christianity operated here, in the past, and people will say arguably still today, is that it was built upon white supremacy, right? So because of that, that's why the majority of Black people in America today are Christian, and in the Caribbean and in Africa. So yeah, I'm an atheist, but why the majority of Black people in America, Canada, the West Indies, South America, and Africa are Christian is because of colonialism. And the reason why it gets blasphemed so much everywhere else is because, like, this is not your fault, but unfortunately, the European ancestors went around enslaving, forced converting, raping and pillaging everybody, and they did it with the cross behind their back. So because of that, Christianity is seen either fairly or unfairly as majority of the bad guy. Now, this is doesn't only account for Christianity. If you go over to some parts of Africa, Islam is the bad guy. And it deserves it too, because
I would argue that they're both equally as corrupt as.
No, they're not. But no,
they are.
No, you both have no idea what you're talking about. Number one,
yeah, I have plenty idea what I'm talking about. Colonialism was a thing, my friend.
Hey, my friend, can you not mute me because I'm making a point?
Okay, you can make your point.
You won't get muted.
Maybe you didn't hear me the first time.
Over the host of the mind. That's all we ask.
Okay, hold on. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Oh no, that was an accident that time. My bad, Apostle. That was actually an accident that time.
Okay, you're gonna keep muting me?
No, she said that was an accident. So all right. So when you say we don't know what we're talking about, what exactly do we not know we're talking about? Is it not true
My
that
question
is it not?
then-
Hold on, wait.
yeah.
Is it not true that colonialism, European colonialism, went around the world, forced converting, raping, and pillaging with a cross behind their back? That's going to give a bad taste to a lot of people, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will. So now, are you referring to when the Europeans came, the European settlers, and they settled in North America and South America?
Everywhere.
Is that what you're referring to?
I'm talking about everywhere.
So, right. So, if you're referring to now, I don't know exactly what it is, what specific time period you're referring to, but my initial question was, because I don't agree, obviously, with colonialism, and how they went about it, because obviously they're using the cross for their own political gains. Obviously, God doesn't approve of that. But what my initial question is why is it around in every part of the world? Now, you only mentioned North America and how it was colonized by the Europeans. I'm talking even
I'm like, do you
India.
think that colonialism only existed on the North and South American continent?
No. That's what he, because he only pointed out North America.
No, I didn't. I said everywhere. I said everywhere.
No, okay, so even for example in India, right?
But
India,
he also
hold on,
Apostle. Just give me a second.
Yeah, but
hold on, just give me a second. He also said, he did say around the world. Now he mentioned and specifically brought up the North American continent in particular because he is Caribbean. So that is what he knows specifically. I'm like, but we all have knowledge, both have knowledge that these things took place globally. But of course, the context that he and I would both come from would be the North American continent. One, because I'm Black American, and then two, he's Haitian. So the experiences that we would be talking about would be on the same continent.
Right. So I'm not sure if you heard me apocalyptic, but I did say worldwide. So yes, in India as well, because British India was a horrible thing, right? When they tried to force convert the Hindus and the Muslims there.
Okay, so it's apostolic, not apocalyptic. I've spoken with Indians here living in Canada, and I've asked them the same question: if the name of Jesus is taken in vain in India amongst Hindus. And they say yes, where Hinduism there is the majority religion. It's not Christianity. I've even seen like in South Korean movies where they're taking the name of Jesus in vain. This is not explained by colonialism. This is not explained. Hold on. Let me tell you. No, it's not. It's such a weak. It's such a weak. I'm sorry. It's so weak.
Hold on. So everybody,
how do you also explain
apocalyptic? Hold on. Give me a pause. Apostolic or apostolic? There we go. Apostolic. Okay, so you said that that for when it comes to India,
you didn't let me finish what I was going to say.
Wait, I got you. I was going to ask you why not. Why does it not explain it?
Because it goes beyond. Okay, so why is the name specifically of that religious figure? Okay, now why is it that specific name that is blasphemed continually, every day, and substitute of a curse word? What is colonialism have to do with that name being mistreated when you just mentioned when the colonialists came? Well, hold on. When the colonialists came, they didn't come to teach the people to start blaspheming the name of their God they're coming with.
Hold on. Let me try to understand. Hold on. Let me try to understand, because you said that why is that name blaspheme as a curse word? Which word are you talking about? Because Jesus is not a curse word.
But they substitute it for a curse word. For example, why do people say Jesus and they'll say the F word and then they'll say Christ after?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, okay, like stuff like that. I can say it. It's just an expletive, really. It's just an expletive because when you look at the Islamic world, what do they say? They say Wahali. So saying Jesus Christ is like Muslims hold on. Let me just finish. When it comes to the English speaking world, right? We're going to use we're going to have expletives. We're going to create expletives in our English speaking context. So in the English speaking context, things like for Pete's sake is based on St. Peter, right? So people used to say for Pete's sake, or people would say Jesus Christ is just an expression. If you go over to Muslims, they would say Inshallah, or they would say Wahali. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, some of them. Hold on. Wahali literally is literally literally means like Jesus Christ or Allahu Akbar. They would say
That
Allahu
doesn't.
Akbar
That's
as well.
not the
Hold on,
name, though.
hold on, dog. You gotta chill out. Chill out while I'm explaining.
You're saying a bunch of
Chill the
nothing.
fuck out, dude. So
Yeah, that's
when
your
it
demon.
chill
That's your-
out, shut up. So when it comes to the Muslim world, their expression is
Behave
either
yourself.
shut up. Their expression is
Behave
either
yourself.
shut the fuck. Hey, listen, you're not gonna tell me that, all right?
You are
This is
full
not
of the.
this is not your space. Do
You are
not
full of
colonize.
the
Do not colonize your space, white man. Keep your whiteness in control and don't try to colonize my space.
And that's why I dropped him, because he don't want you here. Yeah.
Talking about behave yourself. Some about dick. How about that?
Who are you
The
talking
fuck?
to?
Who you
Like,
talking to? Like who the hell you talking to, bro? Like control your colonizer spirit, my guy. Like Jesus Christ, talking about behave yourself.
He's literally proving that. He's literally proving the point that you made about colonization and Christianity going together. Listen, those colonizers' ancestors came out of him real quick.
Real quick, talking about behave yourself. It ain't your space.
Like, bitch, who are you talking to? Like, you not know where daddy. Who you call, girl?
Oh, goodness. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
He might as well called you a boy with a southern accent. Ooh.
Yeah, he might as well. He was from Canada, and it's not different up there either. They're just nicer with it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But Kay, definitely appreciate you. Enjoy your night. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. All right.
I'm like y'all. Also, my cash app is on my profile. But if you want to get it after the live too, just go to my profile on KK Reloaded Tour, and you will literally just see my the screenshot of my cash app on my profile.
Definitely, let's get it popping. Appreciate UK. Thank y'all so much. Happy birthday to Kay. Make sure y'all gift her up and send her some money in the Cash App so she can enjoy her night. And guys, thank y'all so much for being here. I do appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being around. As I always say, everybody be soft. All right. As I always say, all men should be soft. Be secure. Be affectionate. Be wise. Be flexible.